Hello, hello, hello. It's Lisa Copeland, and I am so excited today. I've got a really big, fun show, Reinventing the Art of Real Estate. And so you guys always hear me talking about how great our team is, how successful everybody is. So I thought proof is in the pudding. So I've brought on some of our agents to talk about their massive success and just how amazing they are. And all three of them made major pivots. And so I'm anxious to be able to encourage everybody out there to introduce you to these beautiful women. We've got a couple males coming on today too. So anyways, but we're waiting on them. But I'm going to be back with you guys in just a second. Let me just go ahead here and we're going to bring on the girls here in just 1 minute. But until then, we're going to have a station identification break. Okay, it's Lisa Copeland. I am back inventing the art of real estate, and I am bringing on several members of my team. And I just want them, we're going to talk about what's going on, about their pivots, about how wildly successful they've been in the last 60 days. And I'm anxious to introduce them all to you. So without further ado, the most gorgeous real estate team in the United States of America. So hello, ladies. How are you?
Hello there.
Yes.
Okay. Good. How are you?
We are good. Okay. So I'm not going to quite go counterclockwise because I don't have these set up. So I want to introduce everybody to each of these ladies, and I'm going to introduce Lauren. I'm going to have Lauren introduce Ashley, and then Ashley is going to introduce Megan, and you'll find out by the end of the show why we're doing it that way. So I want to introduce everybody to my good friend, Lauren Hunt. She lives out in Scottsdale, Arizona, and she is amazing. And a little side story, Lauren used to work for me in the automotive industry. And I am so glad and grateful that we get to work together again. And I went after her, and it was not an easy feat, I might add. Girlfriend was selling a bunch of high-end houses every single month with a very, very big and reputable company. Not that we're not big and reputable, but she was comfortable. Like, why, when someone is as successful as she is, and probably in the top 1%, would she ever consider making a pivot? Lauren, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
All right. So, before we get into stories, I'm going to let you introduce Ashley, since Ashley is who you brought to our team.
So Ashley is a good friend of a friend from here in Scottsdale, and her and I just connected right away. We both have that kind of lady boss mentality and great energy, just a great person. And, you know, we've talked about real estate a few times, and she mentioned something about, you know, joining EXP, and I said, let's do it. Let's get it together. Let's create a lady boss team. Let's work together, even though we're in different cities, and just be cheerleaders for each other. And that's already been amazing.
Well, I was going to say, you're more than cheerleaders. You guys have been referral partners already.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Okay, which we're going to get into those stories in a little bit. But now I'm going to let Ashley, who Ashley's in Austin, Texas, by the way. And she,
yeah, but now I'm in Austin, Texas.
Yes, we have some really good Ashley stories. All right, so Ashley, I'm going to let you introduce Megan, who's also in Austin, Texas.
Yes, Megan is amazing. We met a month or so ago. I was talking to her about how I was getting into real estate, everything that I was working on. As soon as we met each other, we just connected, and we were like so pumped. Thank you guys from Scottsdale for introducing us. And yeah, then me and Megan have been talking the last couple of weeks. Super, super excited to be working with her and having someone in Austin to like cheerlead with me and take over the market together. So welcome, Megan. So pumped.
So Megan, tell us about you and your illustrious sports career. This is so funny. I was trying to tell my husband about you last night. He's like, oh, I know Megan Willis. She used to catch for Cat Osterman. I go, honey, that is another Megan Willis, but that's not this Megan Willis because she's like 24. That is you?
That is me.
Okay, who is the 24? Okay, was like, oh, I love her. She does not look like a softball. She's fabulous. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
Believe it or not, that.
So I know Kat. So Kat was my spokesperson for about 5 minutes at my car dealership. So I love Kat.
Oh my God, yeah. So I did catch Kat. Yep, and we played at Texas back in 2005 and 2006. So even though we look like we're still 24, we're not.
You do look like you're 24. Because I was like, no, this cannot be the same Megan. There has to be two of them. And he was like, oh my God, that Megan Willis, she was like so good looking and sharp. And I'm like, well, this one is too. Look at this picture. I said, but I like maybe this is her daughter or something. Because like, I mean, again, I was working with Kat back in 2012.
No, that's me. So played at Texas, caught Kat. We were at the World Series a couple times. Played professionally for the past 10 years. And then I transitioned into coaching and managing a professional team. I've been a broadcaster for ESPN and the Longhorn Network for the past 9 years. So that's probably also when your husband's talking about Kat or talking about softball, if he's watching any of the current Texas softball games that are on LHN, it's me commentating those games. So yeah, it's been a long journey. I don't think I ever thought I'd get to play into my 30s. And then like I said, I was coaching, managing up until about a year ago. I was doing the commentating up until, COVID hit and COVID kind of shut down. Not kind of, it did shut down every sporting event in the spring. And that's what catapulted me to take the decision to get into real estate.
Okay. I literally said, this has got to be that Megan Willis system. Again, and I love Kat. I think Kat is great. And so like I brought Kat in at the height of the Fiat frenzy. And she's such a hometown hero, of course, and still is. And so anyways, she was a blast. I actually had her out riding around in cars for a little while.
I bet she's really fit. Or maybe that was your selling point, that a 6'2" woman could still be in the Fiat. Well,
and that was actually part of our selling proposition.
Yeah.
And she loved it anyways. But yeah, she was great. And again, I can't believe, and I thought, how could there be two Megan Willises? And he's like, and especially two that look like that. And I'm like, babe, I don't know, but I'm telling you, I don't think that's the same one, because Kat's like older now, blah, blah, blah. So I hate to be wrong. And he's probably watching this right now. I can't believe he's not texting me going, I told you so. So anyways, and we just had jump on Haas Pratt, who is kind of the guy who started all this, which I'll talk about in a second, and Mr. David Cribbs. So Haas Pratt is a best-selling author, has coached thousands of real estate agents and helped them make millions of dollars. Did I do that okay, Haas?
That's good, Lisa.
That's good. I listened to you.
Yeah, right.
And he wrote the best-selling book, The Listing Boss. And Haas was responsible for really putting together the whole deal with Tariq El Moussa and from HGTV and EXP. So Haas is quite the legend. And Haas is the reason I'm here. And the reason that Lauren's here is because of me. And the reason Ashley's here is because of Lauren. And the reason Megan's here is because of Ashley. And then we've got the famous David Cribbs, who was the first phone call I made when I made the decision to pivot, because he's my dear friend from the automotive industry. And I had seen him pivot wildly successful into real estate and put on events all over the country for realtors. And he was the first call I made. And he told me no the first time. And Lauren told me no the first time. And Haas, I was a laydown. Like, I just did the deal. And I had to really sell these other people.
Tariq was too. He was a laydown as well. Yeah.
What is it with Tariq and I? We're like, either that, Haas, or it was you, that you're a better salesman than I am, and that whatever.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. So today I wanted to bring on, everybody hears me talking about like we're the fastest growing, and people like talk is cheap. Talk is cheap, but we are the fastest growing real estate company. And within the company, I'm going to say we're probably the fastest growing team. I know we are. I already know the answer to that question. In the world, because we're a global company. And I wanted my followers, and I hope all of you are sharing this out. And if you're my friend or you're my follower, share this out, because you're going to know somebody out there that needs to pivot. And when you hear some of these stories, like me, why I did it, Megan, same thing, a victim of COVID, as was I. Lauren was already in it. Ashley, I think, was destined for greatness. Oh, you were a victim of COVID too? Because you're in school for design.
I was doing events for marketing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We were all canceled. So
Yeah, and you sold $1 million your first week, so it's okay. Yeah. So, anyways, all of that being said, I want everybody out there to hear the pivot, because whether it's for you or it's not for you, you probably know somebody. So, I'm going to start with I'm going to brag about Ashley, and then I'm going to let everyone else go around the bend. So, Ashley, again, was brought to us by Lauren. Right here in Austin, Texas. But Ashley is wonderful, and I remember talking to her, and I had to talk a lot to her too. She was like, "Well, what about this? What about that? Blah 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 blah." And I was just like, we are the best team. She gets her license on a Monday. She's literally texting me on the Saturday before, going, "I have a showing with a Tesla executive on Monday, and I don't even know that I can get into MLS. I don't know if I've got a super key yet." Like, she was signed up, she was licensed. But I'm like, "Girl, I've got showings all day Monday, so I can't show your people." So then about noon, I'm like, "How did it work out?" And you're like, "Yes, Austin Abor got me in." And you sold your third day or second day of real estate, 700 and what, 56,000?
25,000 in my third day.
Yeah, third day, 725. And then she texts me again another time. And then, you know what? I'm going to let you take the story from there, because I'll let you wrap it with the major purchase you just made.
Yeah. So day 3, I got my offer accepted for my clients, Tesla guy, beautiful gated community in Rough Howell. Super excited for them. And yeah, from there, I thought I was going to be sitting around twiddling my thumbs at first. And I've been busy every single day, working every single day. I have 6 active clients right now. Another one I just put in escrow on Friday. And so far I've sold 1.11 million in my first month. Super exciting. And I just bought a Tesla. So that should be here in like a couple weeks. Very excited.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. And I remember talking to you, and you're like, "Well, like how soon do you think I'll ramp up?" So in 30 days, you've made over $30,000 and have a new Tesla.
Yep. And then I'm also working a deal with Lauren over in Scottsdale, which hopefully, or 2 deals actually, which I'm very excited about, for another 3 million.
Haas, you and I just need to go home. Like, seriously.
No, I just sit there thinking, I'm like, I don't have to do anything over here. It's like, man.
Because you're kind of paying on all of us. So yeah, that's great. Job. Yes. Okay. The beautiful Lauren Hunt. And my inside joke there was, and it's really the truth, that when I was in the automotive industry, that I hired a supermodel. And I always used to say, but she was a supermodel that would work. She was out there. She would like get her people ready, get the cars ready. Like, she was amazing. And I just always loved her. And I loved that she wasn't like above anything. Like, she was like, "No, I'm here. I made a commitment, and I'm here to learn something new and different." And then from there, she went into real estate in Scottsdale. And as I was following her amazing, massive success over the last couple of years, I reached out and I'm like, "You have to come to work with us. You have to be on the team. You got to partner with us." Yeah, you're amazing. Because out of this whole group, well, maybe not David, Lauren probably is the highest producer. So.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So tell everyone about you and Scottsdale, and just what your pivot was and why you left probably one of the most prestigious brokers.
Oh, well, first of all, I'm Lauren. I live in Scottsdale. I've only lived here for about 5 years. And I started real estate about 3 years ago. I have just been blessed with a great community of friends and referral business, and I haven't done a ton of marketing, but somehow, it just keeps rolling. And I was comfortable. I was with a big brokerage. I had a consistent flow of business. And, if Lisa Copeland calls you and she's telling you about some amazing opportunity, you listen. I was kind of hesitant at first, but then when I started doing my own research and realized, I've been a solo agent for so long, and it gets a little lonely and it gets a little bit tedious. And I'm at the point now where, it helps to bring people in. And my goal was to build a team. So when Lisa called me and told me about this platform and this brokerage that really gives you the opportunity to do that and have it make sense, it all clicked. And to also have somebody like Lisa in your corner. She's just an amazing lady boss role model. I was quick to jump to the opportunity as soon as I realized that it made sense.
So talk to us about the successes you've had since you made the pivot, because one of the things, guys, that I was telling Lauren, she's crazy successful. And I said, but these massive, big Fortune 100 companies that you would know, brokerages that she was at the top of the food chain of, I said, you're making them rich and famous. Not rich. I mean, she's whatever. Yeah, but you know, you were getting paid less there than you do with us. But you were building their Fortune 100 brand, not the Lauren Hunt brand. And that's where I always got on to you about, because you are the brand. People do business with Lauren Hunt, not with the other companies.
That's true. I will say I never got a lead from being with the brokerage I was with before. But I will also say that I gave them over $50,000, which makes me sick to my stomach when I think about it. So when you told me the cap at EXP was 16,000, I was like, wow, I just gave myself an automatic promotion right there.
Yeah.
The fact that there's stock options, you know, they give you stock. Berkshire does not give you stock.
Oh, he said it.
Very expensive, but just the ability to make passive income, bring on people to work with you. There were just so many things about it that lured me in.
Half of this screen is your team. It's all my team, but this half of the screen is your team.
Yeah, they're a bunch of lady bosses. It's great.
Yeah.
So we've already decided we're going to plan a trip to Mexico and celebrate our successes here shortly.
Yes, I am in.
This is something to be on. I mean, you've got the support, you've got really great people, you've got the cheerleading, you've got the support, and coming from being by myself, having people that just, you know, want you to do great and are invested in your success is amazing.
Yeah. And so how big do you see your piece of the team getting in the next 12 months?
Well, so here's the thing for me is I get asked a lot here in Scottsdale for especially new agents, like, hey, can I come intern with you? Can I come learn from you? Can I come, you know, just see what you're doing to build your business? And for me, I'm a single mom, you know, I've got a lot going on. And for me to just take somebody under my wing and train them and mentor them, you know, that's a lot of time and energy. And as much as I would love for everybody to do well and to learn, it's time consuming, right? So when you bring them onto EXP under you on your team, it's the ability to be successful off their success too. So you could train somebody for a year and they could leave you and take all your secrets and your tricks and be successful by themselves. Or you build a team with EXP and your success is their success. So you even more are motivated to make them successful. And the whole thing just made so much more sense for me because I think too, like the time that I invest in somebody will make sense for the long term too.
You know what, but for them too, because you are one of the top agents in your market of all companies. And so they're willing to come in and be on your team to learn from you. And so then it becomes, I mean, a good deal, we all know, is if it's mutually beneficial, right? If it's good for me and it's good for you, then if you look it up in the dictionary, it's a good deal.
Right. Well, it's extended education, really. I always say if you're new, get under somebody that number one, you respect them, you love the way they do business, and they're good at what they do. And you're going to learn better that way than you will, you know, by texting your broker every 5 minutes and saying, what do I put in this checkbox on the contract? What do I do at a listing presentation? So you want to be with somebody that you really respect, that you know they do good business, they're morally and ethically, you know, amazing or whatever, whoever you respect.
But what's great about our team, like I'm up, it's me and one other person, please God, up for a $2.8 million listing. And so I texted Lauren immediately. I'm like, okay, Lauren, like I need to put something together. Like, what do we do? Right? Because I haven't had a $2.8 million listing yet, but I'll have this one. If it kills me, I will have this one. And so anyways, but that being said, but like I had somebody immediately on my team that I could go to and go, hey, you do these every month.
You can text at 9 o'clock at night. You can text at 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock at night, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because everybody's rooting for each other. Megan Willis, who is not the daughter of the other Megan Willis that my husband argued with me with all that last night, from the University of Texas. Did I tell you that my kids are Aggies?
Oh boy, we can still be friends.
Okay, good. All right. So tell us about you and your pivot. And for those of you that are just jumping on, this is just a small snippet of our team and our partners on the agency. But this is my team. And it's not all my team, it's just a smidge of my team. But I wanted to get everybody together because I've got a lot of people reaching out to me right now and they're like, I need to pivot. What do you think? And so I want you to hear it from people's mouths that pivoted, whether it was you were pivoting out of real estate, into real estate, whatever it may be. And so Megan was quite the superstar at the University of Texas.
Yeah. And I think it was more about COVID hitting, shutting down sports, and my broadcast career for right now, and we still are not sure what's going to happen. We're kind of watching to see what football is going to do, collegiate sports specifically. For the past 9 years, I've been a commentator. And in March, when they shut that down, that also means part of my contract gets taken away, right? And so for the next, from March up until June, and I believe it was in June when I met up with Ashley for the first time, it's like I knew I had a love for real estate. I have owned 3 houses. I've moved between here and Florida. So I know I like decorating. I like being a part of everything. It's like, man, what better time than right now? Because if not, I'm just sitting back on the couch and watching ESPN to get the to try to figure out if I'm going to have a job anymore. And I don't know about you guys, but that just like builds incredible amount of angst within yourself. What are you going to do next? You don't necessarily just want to quit on your dream job, which was the broadcasting. But at the end of the day, we're kind of watching something new for any of us, what COVID's done to our nation. And I just didn't have anyone else to rely on but myself, right? And so it's like, well, what better time? And I just started asking Ashley a lot of questions because she was about a month and a half ahead of me, I think, in this process. Other than then I realized she's had a real estate license in Arizona for like 6 or 8 years. So she's way ahead of me in that part. But at least in Texas, real estate. And what school did she go to? And then it was like everything just started falling into place when you're looking up what schools you're wanting to do. The discounts right now to get your license, like at least your classes, were insane. You can get them as low as like $250. I think some people were getting them at $200. So then right there, it's like, okay, what is $250 to me right now? Just bettering my education. And so I think at first it was like, okay, let me take my first class and see if this is going to be the right step. Am I really as interested as I thought I was? And it was like, in 5 weeks later, 6 classes done, I was like, hell yes, this is exactly what I want to do. I'm excited about this. The investment in myself personally, just to not stare at the news and not stare at what might happen with my career in broadcasting. It's just been a relief for me. And I think that's been a way for me to start to express myself in a different way. I've had so much support, not only from the women on this call and the folks from EXP, but people in my life. And it's like, man, this was the right decision. And everyone always tells you, right? You just got to take that leap of faith. You just got to take that one step. And for me, it's been incredible, and I haven't sold a house yet, but I'm still so excited, right? Because
well,
I'm just
you are the only Megan
Willis,
Willis, so you're going to kill it. Yeah. Well, and and just think about your influence.
Yeah, so I think
all the Longhorn fans. Yeah, all those Longhorn fans and all the alums.
Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Megan's not going to have any trouble selling some houses.
Like my husband knew the other Megan Willis' stack. I'm kidding. It's like, guys, like I had met this Megan and I've seen her and then I saw like she played with Kat and like 8-10 years ago. And I'm like, I told my husband, like, it can't be the same girl. Like, I know they got the same name and the same position. He's like, do you think like there's not 2 Megan Willises? And I go, there has to be, because she's probably like 24. This is how old I'm getting. Yeah. And so
and that's the thing. And that's the thing. I do have, it's great. And what a time to be able to use that following, right? I've built a following over the past 10 years. Not only do I get to, it's social media, but it's on live ESPN and Longhorn Network. And you've built a name in your brand already. And I have so much support from all those fans and friends that are just ready to go. The messages are stacking up with just people like, all right, I'm ready. I know I have a friend. Everyone's moving to Austin right now too, by the way. Oh, that's the sweetest thing.
I have 3 daughters.
Oh.
So yeah, that's my pivot. And I think that's the only choice for me. That's the choice I needed to make to move forward and to not sit back. And man, I'm stoked to get going.
And you're going to crush it in real estate. I have no doubt about that. Like you might even be like, that journalism, that job in the
I know, right?
I'm not going to do this.
I'll just watch sports as a pastime now.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun, right? Haas Pratt so Haas was responsible, everybody, for bringing in Tariq Al Musa, which I'm going to let him tell a little bit of that story. And again, he has coached and trained thousands of real estate agents to help them make millions of dollars. Now, I didn't always have that straight, but I'm on the phone with him all the time, so I know all about Haas.
That's right.
You're on, Haas.
This is incredible, by the way, y'all. I love this. This was my whole vision for what I knew that this opportunity could become with the agency. And I just want to just kind of give everybody a little bit of insight, kind of how this all thing came to be. I did write, a book called Listing Boss. I think all y'all have it. If not, let me know. I'll get you a copy. But this book is a best-selling book. For 15 years, I've coached and trained agents. And I have Listing Boss Academy, which is hundreds of hours of training, coaching, and content, really around the most important things in real estate, which is lead generation and lead conversion. When you get into real estate, you're going to learn pretty quick that you're not going to use the words fee simple and chattel again, right? I mean, right? I mean, you're in the game. Yeah. It's like we're in the getting the phone ring business, right?
Right.
And the faster you can learn that to where you forget everything that the education taught you and learn what's most important, which is marketing, sales, conversion. And that's what gets me out of bed every day. And for me, it took me 6 months. When I got into real estate, I lost 50 grand, Ashley. And I didn't list a single home, didn't work a single buyer because I was doing the wrong things. But when I hear you coming out of the gate, like month one, just crushing it, like
week one, Haas, week one.
Who does that, Ashley? I mean, you do.
I mean, I'm hoping you
does it. Lisa didn't come out at 1.1 her first week, my first month, yes, but not my first week.
No, and that was the thing for me. I struggled at the beginning, but when I learned marketing and sales in this business, everything changed. And that's what I've done for 15 years. So here's the challenge I had. I've known about EXP since the day that they started. I've known, the co-founder and the founder since they began. And I was like one of the first trainers to go into the EXP cloud and do a webinar. And I remember even then just being fascinated by the EXP cloud, just blown away. And so for years, I continued doing my own business, coaching, training, all different brokerages, speaking on different stages. And so I was always kind of, it was always tough for me to go into one company, y'all, because for me to go into one company, I had to, walk away from all the contracts I've had through coaching. And that's what I've done is I've put all my cards in this, with this company because I believe this in the future. And I flew out to California. And I was meeting with Tariq El Moussa, who is I'd say he's the number one celebrity in real estate. I don't know of anybody more famous.
Heather is now. Heather is.
Yeah, Heather is now.
Is like,
yeah,
like the universe is so big.
Hey man, we just want Heather and Tariq just to go off and just keep doing their thing, man. Keep doing People Magazine. Keep doing your
business. So good for business, Tariq. You just keep going.
You keep doing a great job, man. And so when I told him about EXP, I said here's what I knew, y'all. Training and coaching, which is what I can provide. Tariq is celebrity and influence, which is a game changer when, to the consumer. And then third is the vehicle of EXP. I knew a combination of all three of those things, being able to scale virtually with free coaching and training, injected with celebrity and influence so you can use it in attraction in your business, was a game changer. And when Tariq came on, I made the commitment. I said, you go all in, I'm all in. And that's what we did. We went all in on the agency to the point where it's what we do. I mean, I'm coaching and training them. Aren't we, Lisa? Every day we're on the phone, on webinars, on Zooms, coaching and training, not charging y'all a single dime, but bringing you as much value as we can. And the reason is because we're compensated differently. And I believe that the coaching business has changed for all you coaches out there. For years, I've charged people $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month to coach them, right? One-on-one every week. I mean, I have people I've coached for 10 years. I talk to every week on the phone. They pay me thousands a month. But the difference is the coaching is going to be the loss leader. And the loss leader is being able to give away all that value and get compensated differently. And in the coaching business, I believe that's where we are. David, and I know you, buddy, I know you're a coach and trainer, and you saw that as well. Somebody like ourselves, that have courses and systems, we don't have to sell those anymore. We can give them away for free. We can give our time to people that we want to help, like y'all. Like here we are, we're all here. I mean, gladly. And it's because of this vehicle that EXP provides. And that's the reason that for me, I'm all in, because I know that this is the vehicle of the future. I know that's what you guys are going to be a part of, man. And I'm super pumped to have y'all. Lisa, you are the easiest sale I've ever had to make. I mean, you were like all in. But like, even now, the people that follow you is just a testament to you. I mean it. Like, these people love you, and that's what I've seen in working with you is people like Lauren and Ashley and Megan. Man, they love you, and this is an opportunity for people like that to partner with you. And y'all are a force. And I just want to encourage you to never stop and just keep doing this.
And I think that like our clients see that. And our clients feel the force that we have and the influence we have on not only, bringing more customers into, to their fold if we're listing their houses, or us being able to get off market listings or get our clients into off market stuff. Because we're with Tarek El Moussa, like we need to see this, I mean, it's a game changer. Like, I don't know about y'all, but it's been a game changer for me. Be able to have that connection to Tarek. I mean, for sure. And of course to Haas, and I laugh because we all talk about Tarek, but Haas is really the one that put the whole deal together with all of us. And it is about influence, because I had a lot of people talk to me about EXP, like probably 6 or 7. And I'm like, no. I just wasn't interested. Right. But then when my friend Haas, when I called, and he was like, oh, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Like I didn't even know it was EXP when I signed up. I just knew I was going to work with Haas and Tarek. That was it. I was done. Right. And so I think it gets down to influence, and it does 100%. And so speaking of Mr. David Cribbs, my very dear friend, he and I worked together many years in the auto industry. He's hosted many automotive shows, big automotive shows, co-hosted. Then he had a real estate, he still does, called Desking Deals. And he came to town 3 years ago. I think I was still in the auto industry, and I was on his show then, and we set it up in downtown Georgetown, Texas. And I brought in some realtor friends. And, David was another one where I was like, hey, David, you got to do this deal. And he's like, oh man, if you would have called me a week ago, I got something else working. I'm like, scratch it, get rid of it. Go. No, you have to come with us. So David, I'll let you take it from there, my dear friend.
Well, thanks so much. I'm just so honored to be a part of what's happening, really. I mean, honestly, and, as Lisa said, when the phone rang, a little less than 2 months ago, I think it was, I did have something. I was about to sign on with another brokerage that had opened up in Florida, and within a couple of years had several franchises, and was about to go nationwide. And I was going to join forces and try to grow that brokerage. And it was a very promising deal for me. And I was familiar with the EXP model, had always loved it. But it was just timing. And when I was going to sign a contract that day, that I spoke with Lisa the second time. And when I did, and she brought me up to speed on everything that was happening with her. And I already knew going into the call that I was in trouble, because I have a weakness for working with Lisa for so many years. I know what she's capable of, and just wanting to be a part of whatever she was going to do was an opportunity. And the fact that it was right up my alley in real estate right now, and believing so much in the power of the model of EXP, it was kind of a no-brainer. I mean, I knew right away. So the second time we spoke, I think she got you on, Haas, on the call, and you were probably like, why did you even get me on? I was like, as soon as I got on, I was like, yes,
I was a little like, because the last time I talked to you, you had a bigger deal working, but I'm like, I'm still calling back because I've got to have David Cribbs on my team. And literally Haas gets on, and David's like, no, I'm going to do this deal. I was like, okay. Haas is just my lucky charm then, that's all.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. So,
tell me what you've had massive success. You're building a team like wildfire. You're selling houses every time I'm on, you've just sold it, listed it, bought it, something. You got all kinds of stuff going on down in Tampa.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I had some things working when I signed on, and I've still got one more listing I need to transfer over to EXP from the previous brokerage, which that'll happen tomorrow. And then I've gotten a few under contract already. So we're about to have the first closing coming up here at the end of the month. And then I have 2 more scheduled next month. So we're getting there. But for me, it's all about the agent attraction model. And, I will share that when I had a pretty sweet deal with my previous broker, I got paid 100%. I was charged no fees because I helped them do trainings and things like that. And they virtually did my whole transaction. So, but what I've been sharing with people who are looking at EXP is I've been telling them, hey, I could no longer afford to work for 100% commission. I just couldn't afford it anymore, because the bigger picture, and I think agents get caught up initially, and some of those agents that have those, we all know there's a trade-off, right? When you have a bigger split, typically you get more support. When you get more commission, typically you have less support with most companies. In our case, we have a great split with more support than we could even imagine. But some of those agents on the surface, if they're at 90 or 100% with another company, they're like, well, I can't, you guys only do the 80%. And like sharing that vision with them and sharing that, hey, I just left. I think that's one of the powers of my testimony is, hey, I just left a company that paid me 100% with no fees only because I need to make more. And that's what I can do with EXP with all these revenue sources. And so for me, it is about the agent attraction. Haas, I know, and Lisa, I know for sure can relate to this, is that as trainers, we fell in love with salespeople, and I fell in love with realtors, other agents. So I want to have that audience. When I got my license, I went to work for a builder, and realtors were my audience until I switched over to general. So it just seems like a natural thing. And the fact that we are nationwide, as Lisa mentioned, with what I love doing events, I can go do them now anywhere, not just in Florida, but anywhere in the country. And as soon as this COVID lifts, I promise you, we'll be traveling like crazy.
We will be. You, me, Haas, Tark, we will be on the road. Megan, did you want to say something?
Oh, no, I was just like, well, I'm ready.
Oh, yeah, you're ready. Okay, yeah. No, I love that. And David, like, so, you were out, and really your claim to fame was teaching realtors how to work with new home builders. Because with inventories being so low right now, I mean, new home builders are kind of starting to own the market. At least they are in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the two things that typically I attract agents with when it comes to training are the new home construction class, because when I did get licensed, I went right to work for the builder. For me, it was a natural coming from the auto business, because I felt like I was in a showroom. Customers were coming in to me just like the dealership, and I was able to kind of marry the builder and the client, right? But when I made the switch to what I recognized during that time, by the way, that year and a half to 2 years that I was with the builder, is I recognized that there was a gap between the realtor and builder. It was a love-hate relationship, but in most cases, it was because a lot of the agents came in representing their customer, but weren't quite really familiar with the real process of the build and construction, how to negotiate with a builder, what to anticipate, and they're sitting there with their client, and they're supposed to be the expert, and they have to save face. And I realized there was a gap there that needed a lot more education and connection for both builder and realtor. So that's what I typically teach on that. And I took a liking to, because of my experience with events, I started turning open houses into events, and I was able to, consistently drive 50 to 60 buyers into an open house in a matter of 2 hours. So started teaching that, and other agents have gone on to do that again and again and again. So those are kind of the two things that are the draw, and now coupling that attraction with the EXP offer, is I believe will be very powerful.
And I came out and I spoke at one of your events 2 or 3 years ago, and it was packed. 300 agents were in there. Because you were putting on this event. And I remember asking you then, I was not an agent then. I'm like, what is the end game here? I don't get it. Like, you're an agent. These are all agents. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, I only came because you asked me to. So out to Tampa. But, what was the end game? And so now it's interesting how all these agents, they love you and they respect you because you can see it all over social media. And so what is your vision 12 months from now for your EXP, AKA our EXP team?
All right. Well, 12 months from now, I certainly hope to be well in excess of 100 agents. I'm hoping for maybe closer to 200. I think that my goal by the end of next month is maybe 50. And the cool thing is that obviously with the numbers, it becomes exponential, right? Because the more you get, the more it grows, even almost without you. At some point, I'm sure Haas can
you
testify.
add 50, I get 50, like just right there. Just
yeah. So it as you guys can testify, and especially probably you, Haas, it gets to a point where you can't really stop it, right? So that's the goal 12 months from now. The really cool thing is, even though we're still kind of tight here in Florida as far as COVID goes, I had my first sort of in-person physical event here about a week and a half ago, and we had 3 new agents that had just signed on with me there, 2 more that are in real estate school right now. We had about 30 realtors at a small event. And every single one of them, including the sponsors I had there, said we were so starving to be out and to be places, and we were as safe as we could be. But the point is, there's opportunity right now. I'm already booking, a number of events, but once this lifts, it's really going to be on fire, I believe. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, no, it's great. And so Haas, we need to get that's training into our platform.
No, absolutely. We
Yeah,
need to get that in there, especially on with the open house stuff, what you're doing. I mean, I would even like to see it and promote you to my audience. I mean, that's being a team member together, David. I mean, I have a pretty good size database where, doing, co-branded training, stuff like that to promote you. With EXP, with this opportunity, it allows that to happen where I have a vested interest in helping you get in front of more real estate agents, and I will, whether it be sending an email or getting on an airplane. You can rest assured this team, your leaders will do whatever it takes, y'all, to help y'all. We will. I know I will. I know y'all know Lisa will. And so
I went to Scottsdale in 3 weeks because we have a big team out in Scottsdale, and Lauren and the Lectors, and I saw Miss Christy was on her, Dr. Christy Morgan, a new team member. I know you had coffee with her today, Lauren. She texted me and said you're amazing. See, I know what you girls are up to because I get all the intel. Like, I feel like I'm back at the dealership. I knew everything was going on, right? Yeah. So Haas, what do you see? Because again, you're really the most qualified to speak to this. What do you see in the next 12 months? What do you see the real estate industry doing? The trends, all of that. I
see it changing hard. Like, probably more so than most people. I'm more of a pessimist around this. I truly am. I'm more of an optimist at heart, but I'll face the reality. And I believe in the next 12 months in real estate, there's going to be a lot of changes. And specifically, it's going to be the brick and mortar models where you have a small to mid-sized brokerage that's paying $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month in their commercial space. And, they're trying to recruit agents and their agents are leaving, and it's the same model. And that model is going to change. And you see that even in the stocks. You see like the publicly traded real estate companies that are brick and mortar. Look at their stock today. Look at EXP stock today. And so that model is going to continue to change because the profits are going to get pinched. And the brick and mortar model is going to be the one that I believe is going to change the most. And I believe EXP is going to be positioned to be the biggest real estate company in the world. I believe at some point, and I don't know this, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just telling y'all what I think. I think that there's, it's just like the Amazons, the Netflix, Tesla, Ashley. I love Teslas, by the way. I'm waiting on my.
I don't. As a former car dealer, I hated their business model.
I know.
I'm not a car dealer anymore, and they're coming to Austin, so I'm
We
working.
love them.
I got Imagine Tesla with a Tesla client, so he recommended it, so I had to do it.
Yes. See.
So like in anything, in any business, you see that there's less business, but there's more powerhouses. And like, that's what I see is going to happen here, where EXP is just going to continue to become more powerful. More agents are going to continue to join. With this whole COVID thing, y'all, with office space, I think that our world is going to be changed forever. How we get on airplanes, how we go into offices. I think, right now we're getting used to our mask and our hand sanitizer, but our social distancing. But a lot of me believes that stuff's not going to go away after COVID. There's still going to be a big part of it that's going to affect the office space and how people work. And EXP is positioned. That's what it was built for. It's built for this. It was built for the future. And that's why we're all here.
But 10 years ago, I had Brian Colhane on my show last week, or maybe it's been 2 weeks now, and he's the co-founder. I love that guy. I just love him. Yeah. And he's the co-founder. And, he said, hey, we knew 10 years ago that bricks and mortar was not sustainable. And we also wanted to be able to put more money back into our agents' pockets, because people are either born into real estate, they buy into it because, they write a big check, or they sell their way into it. That means they're the top producer. Then at some point they become the office manager or a managing partner. And he said, but what happens to the rest of the 500,000 agents that are sitting out there? It gets down to like anything else in life. It's the 1% club, right? How about the 99% that are ones out there and they're working their rear ends off and they're making it happen? And they're just one deal away from bankruptcy. And that was part of his and Glenn's vision. I guess really Glenn's vision was to make sure that everybody that is in our company can build a sustainable business. They can have their own brokerage without the fees and the headaches of being a real estate broker. And then because 50% of our money, the money that the company brings in from our $16,000 cap, is redistributed. Who else can say that, Haas?
Yeah, nobody. Y'all. I can go on and on about success stories, and I'll just throw a few out there. But like, I had part of my belief in EXP is I've seen it. Now I've seen my coaching clients that say, "Hey, Haas, I'm joining EXP." This is like 5 years ago, and within 2 years, they're making $500,000 a month in recurring revenue. I mean, it's substantial. I mean, my broker, when I sold real estate, went to EXP. I think he's making millions of dollars a month from rev share. And I've seen this. I've seen Brent Gove was one of my keynote speakers at my seminar. Sheila was front row. She introduced him to EXP. He goes on to be like the top money earner in the company. And I've seen this, and it's real. And I want to help as many people as I can to create that reality for themselves. And I want to encourage all of you team members, like, this is it. Like, y'all are a part of this team. This is a dream team. You're here at the right time with the right people. And like, don't let the grass grow under your feet. You sit too long, the weeds overtake the garden, right? We want to get after it. And we want to bring as many people to this organization as possible, because, even EXP agents want to be a part of this organization. And, that's our problem now, right, Lisa? Yeah. But we're not doing that. We want new agents.
It is a problem. It is a problem. Everybody wants to swap teams. Megan, did you know like when UT was winning, everyone wanted to be on the team, and if you guys weren't winning, we were transferring over to a different college?
That's right. So I chose this team, right? I don't need a transfer.
Yep. That's it. Fair haired. What is it? Fair something fans.
Fair weather
fans. Thank you. Yes, I have not had any wine yet. I swear, y'all.
You know what? I want to add one thing to this, though. A big part of for me that I think that doesn't get said enough is the fact that I look at what we're doing with the agency at EXP as a life insurance. So if I go outside and I get hit by a bus, the money that I'm making every month in rev share goes to my family, and so for me, and that's huge, because I have 3 daughters and, private schools and colleges and all that. You know that, Lisa, how, you got to set them up.
On top of the fact that Haas lives well. Let's be real. He's the one that brought in Tarek.
Yeah, I did. And
under Haas, people, let's be real, okay?
Yeah. No, and you guys are at the right, and you're at the right place too. Just the lineage of the company. It goes, Glenn Sanford is the founder, Brian Colhane's the co-founder. Then it's me and my wife third, and then Tarek, and then Lisa, then y'all. Like, y'all are right there at the top. And I know, Brian, like the co-founder, he's one of my best friends. He would do anything to help us, and yeah, he's great. So that's what all those things together is what makes the agency so great.
Yeah, no, it's great. All right, so as we kind of wrap up, we got 12 minutes left. I want to get closing parting thoughts, and I'll start with Ashley.
I'm just so thankful that I joined this team. Lauren reached out to me like the day before I almost signed up with someone else, and I'm just so thankful. I'm a strong believer, strong Christian, and I think everything happens for a reason. And I'm definitely in the right place and doing what I love and working for myself, and never been happier. So excited to keep the good things rolling.
All right, so Ashley, when you get done, share this out. And if you're one of Ashley's friends and you want to join the team, reach out to Ashley. Okay.
Yeah.
Lauren.
Hi.
Getting a call from San Juan Capistrano, California. They probably want to sell me a car warranty.
Your phone never stops ringing, Lisa.
Never stops.
Yeah.
Lauren Hunt.
I just want to say real quick that I know I said this earlier, is that, you always want to align yourself with people in business that you believe in their vision, and they're respectable people. And I have to say, like, after talking to you, Lisa, Tarek, Haas, everyone I've met so far on this team is just a great human being. They're great support, the training, the leadership, everything has been, after being solo, again, I'll say that it's so great to feel like it's almost like a family unit. We all care so much about how well each other are doing, not just because, the people under you, are part of your success, but just there's some kind of great energy or connection or something between everybody that's involved. So for me, that's it's huge.
So I will be in Scottsdale in the middle of September because, again, our team in Scottsdale is just getting huge. So I've committed to go out there and help build the team even bigger. So I'll be there in the middle of the month. So I'm super excited. And yes, I'm going to get on an airplane. All right. Megan Willis, what are your closing thoughts? You're the newest to the team.
I've been on a couple airplanes now, and it's safe. I promise you. They're not filling them up, Lisa, so you'll be okay.
Yeah, no, I've actually been to Arizona once during all this to go see the Lectors and go up on their off-the-grid launch. So
I think my closing thoughts are just, again, like Ashley said, I'm just thankful to be a part of it. I'm thankful that I happened to meet Ashley at a great happy hour one day, and that, like she said, I think things happen for a reason, and this is the time. I'm so, I guess, just new and energized with the classes, energized with now learning everything that EXP has to offer for me. And I just have the time right now, really, the next 2 weeks before I get that license, to really dive into what Haas has to offer for us, right? And to dive in to everything else that I can really gain more knowledge, and so I can hit the ground running and try to follow Ashley's steps.
Oh,
I don't know. That's a goal to have for yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow Ashley, and I've had a pretty good few months. So I'm telling you. So how did that change your mindset when, because kind of like me, like my whole world fell apart March 16th when I got shuttled onto an airplane to get out of Chicago because they were going to lock it down the next day by a meeting planner. So how has your mindset changed now that you've been able to pivot and you have a new direction and something exciting you're learning about, and knowing that you're going to be able to leverage that powerful celebrity of you and the network of the University of Texas and ESPN and all of that?
It was the idea that I couldn't wait another 3 months to try to understand what was happening with my future. I already did that on that March date that you just mentioned, right? Yeah. And I heard it again almost 5 weeks ago when the Ivy League said they were canceling fall sports. I was like, that's it. I think I had my own meltdown that night, and I was like, in the next morning, you're making your decision. And I did. I got on the phone with Ashley. She offered to meet me and just answer any questions I had. And it's like, the time is now. And everything I think that both Dave and Haas has talked about too, just with where the market's going, it's a no-brainer. And then you add in what we already know about Austin. And I just think this is exactly the time. Of course, it's scary, but what's not? I think it's scarier to sit back and just, I guess, watch the demise of what you've been working for 9 years, just completely out of your control. This feels like it is in my control. This feels like I get to reach out to those people that have been such fans, or just they're here to watch you be successful and help your success too. And now I get to tap into that. And so I don't know. I don't know that it's necessarily faith or luck. I just think you just make that decision, and the time was now.
Well, I can tell you, my husband will buy his next house from you. Super fan. It was unbelievable when he heard it was. Yeah. Anyways, super fan of. He knew your. I was Googling the stats. And he knew him. He's like, she caught for Cat and this and that. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, you have mega fans in Austin, Texas. There's no doubt about it, including at my house.
Lisa, I think your husband's on the phone with my sister right now, getting her pre-qualified for a mortgage.
Oh, how funny. That's right. I knew that was going to happen at 4:00 today. Like, see, the guys, see all the power of all the, all that? Everything's swirling in our world. Haas Pratt, what are your final words, my friend?
Whenever COVID happened at the very beginning, I knew, and they said 2 weeks. Remember that, y'all? 2 weeks social distancing? I was like, no, it's going to be months, because it's like eating an elephant one bite at a time. They're going to spoon feed us. But I knew I got real fast. And one of the things that I knew is that COVID was going to either eat people alive or it was going to empower them. and we all had a choice.
Yep.
Because now, I mean, look at all these stories. I mean, from people that the world just shut down. I mean, Lisa, I lost every speaking gig I had in a day and a half, right?
You do.
Yeah, and it was just so we have
Hundreds and thousands of dollars of contracts. Poof.
Gone.
Gone.
I mean, it's not only us, y'all. It's every business, all businesses out there, right? I mean, I just got picked up from the Uber guy, my Uber Black driver. I haven't seen him in months. I'm like, how's business? He goes, terrible. I'm like, like everybody. And so we have a choice to be empowered right now, or to be depressed and let it eat us alive and be miserable. I mean, there's an argument for both, but one of the things that I see here is champions in all of you, and champions pivot fast and they don't wait. And that's what I would encourage everybody to do now is you will have to pivot after COVID, during COVID. A pivot is going to be required. So don't wait for that pivot to happen. Like, take action now. Like, even if you don't have it all figured out, you don't have all the, you don't know all the information, you're never going to know everything. Go with your gut, go with your instinct. What's it tell you? What's your intuition telling you now? Is it to join the agency? Is it that you want to be a part of this team? Then you need to go fire yourself from the company right now and join. Like, that's what we're talking about. And get plugged in now, and get plugged into where, like all of you, right? You're thriving during COVID, and a lot of the agency is thriving. And we want to help as many people as we can. So make the decision to pivot, and know that you got to get what you want in life. You have to be willing to lose what makes you comfortable, right? You got to be willing to lose it all to gain everything. And this is a moment of being willing to lose it all to gain everything. And know that on the other side of that is nothing but blessings for everybody. I mean, truly, all this together here, this is a blessing to all of us. I know that this was supposed to happen. I couldn't be more excited for the future. And, I want to work with more people. And so reach out to whoever invited you to this and take bold action today, for real. Like, sign up, get after it, and join the agency.
Let's go. David Cribbs, you are going for the close, my friend.
All right. So I did see a comment pop up by Christy Bloomingdale. She said she wished us all success, that she's with a builder in Austin. So Christy, if you're still on, feel free to promote your builder or who you're with so that we know that as well. Happy to see you on here. So, the one thing I would say, and Haas kind of called attention to it a little bit earlier, kind of with the analogy of the life insurance. I think about EXP building something that's going to be COVID proof and recession proof, right? Because even when times hit that are more challenging in real estate, and we know that'll eventually come, right now we're real fortunate, by the way, especially in the cities that we represent, that it's booming right now. So now is the time to take advantage of that. But when you build an organization, down the road, I feel like I'm going to be a lot more insulated. I might be impacted, but I won't be going to zero. I'll be, my business might be impacted a little bit. The revenue share might drop a little when times are tough, but I'll have that revenue share instead of having zero. So I would encourage everyone to take a really strong look. Brian, I think it was Brian Colhane on your broadcast, Lisa, that said, never be afraid to say no to something. Just never say no to something that you don't know what you're saying no to.
Yeah.
And I loved that. So I would encourage everyone. I think the more you look at it, the harder it is to ignore it.
Yeah, we are too big to ignore, right? We're just too big to ignore. All right, everybody, I want to thank all of you. I know I'm going to see Ashley and Megan tomorrow night. And then last but not least, Ashley's thing is it's dating apps and it's happy hour. We'll have to talk about that on the next time we get together.
Oh, I love it.
Girlfriend knows how to work it. I'm telling you right now.
I should fly in for this tomorrow. Where am I?
I know, right? I mean, so yeah, we're gonna have to zoom you into the happy hour. I hate that. But don't worry, I'll be in Scottsdale in 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. So we will catch up then. Haas, I will be in Dallas next week. So I will see you then with Sharon Lecter. I think you're speaking at an event. And so anyways, continued success, my team, my friends, my partners, all of that. I love you guys. And until next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you all.
Share this out. Somebody in your network needs to see this. If you're watching this right now, share.